Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you some intermediate Square-1 example solves for averaging around 10-11 seconds. So let's get into it. Let's get into the first solve. The scramble will be on the screen. Okay, so looking at the scramble, we see we have pawn fist. Now, in this case, the shapes are pointing in the same direction, so this is pointing to the right, and this is also pointing to the right. I know this is technically left fist, but I usually like to call it right fist because I I don't think it looks like a left fist at all. So when I traced CSP, I got odd, and for me, that means to solve this into, that means that's good, and that means to solve it into square shield. So the way you do that is line this up so you can bring this pair down and bring this L up to form a square on top. And this shield on the bottom, go into fist, fist, kite, kite, square, square. Okay? So now, the way I solve this CO is by bringing this black corner here to form a bar, like so. And then this EO goes like this. Okay? And then we have headlights here, no headlights on top. So then, you can, the way you solve that is with this algorithm. And then lastly, we have bad UU. The way I solve this is by lining both of the solved bars on the left, and then I do op, and then I'm going to do a U prime, and then do adj from the back. So that looks like op, U prime, adj from the back. And that was solve number 1. Okay, let's look at solve number 2. Okay, here's solve number 2. We have shield muffin, and when I traced CSP, I got odd, which for me, for this case, is bad. So the way I solve this is first by going into scallop kite. And I'm going to do that is by bringing this pair down to join this pair. So this this line will come up to form a kite, like so. And instead of just solving scallop kite like normal, we're going to actually make this into 411 L. So bring an L down like this. Now move both the layers and then go back into scallop kite, and then you can solve it like normal. So fist, fist, kite, kite, square, square. The way I solve this CO is by positioning this black bar on the right, having these black corners diagonal like so. Do a slice, D prime slice, and now you have 2 black bars like so. And there you go, CO. And the way I solved this EO, what I should have done actually is I should have brought this edge of here, because there's a good algorithm to solve it like that. But I didn't do that. Instead, what I did was I put it over here, like so, to do this algorithm, which is the standard one, I believe, to solve like so. Okay, now we have these headlights here, so what I did is I did a D prime to bring them to the front. It's important to note, you should absolutely do the headlights from the front like this. Don't do a D and a U2 to do them from the back. That's just a waste of moves. You should do it from the front and solve it from the front like so. And then we have adj clockwise O in the way I like to solve it, and I think it's a pretty optimal solution. Put the adj right here in this down left corner, and then do adj from the back. And then you're going to do a U2D to have good UU, so you can solve it so, and cancel into the bar flip. There you go. Okay, let's look at solve number 3. Okay, so here we have 6-2 star. When I was doing CSP, I traced odd, which for me is bad. And fortunately, with all of the star cases, the way that you can make bad cases good is really easy. You just misalign the star layer by 2, like so. So what I did is you want to split it in half, like so, and misalign the top layer. Go into pawn, pawn, and then you can solve it from the back. So fist, fist, kite, kite, square, square. Now this is a very easy CO. You just bring this black bar up. And again, what I should have done with this EO is brought the edge over here so you can position the edges like so and do this algorithm, but I didn't do that again. Instead, what I opted for was to put this top edge on the right and this bottom edge in the back and do this algorithm. Okay, and then again, we have these headlights that we want to put into the front. Solve like that. And then we have edge. There you go. That's solve number 3. Okay, let's move on to solve number 4. Okay, so in this solve here, we have left pawn barrel. Now, when tracing CSP, I got even, which for me is bad. And the way I solve it is by bringing a pair from the barrel down to form 3-3 pair. Then I move both layers to bring the line from the 3-3 up and the pair down to form 4-2 line. And from there, we can go into scallop kite and solve from there. Okay, so now how I solved this CO case was putting this bar on the right, having these corners opposite of each other, like so. Doing a slice, D prime slice, and then bringing the bar up. Now to solve this EO case, you put the three edges towards you, and these 3 edges on the bottom to the right of you, and then by doing this algorithm. Now from here, we have all of the corners on the bottom layer solved, but on the top, we have these headlights facing us. So what I did is I put them in the back. Now I saw we had these 2 blocks here that I wanted to preserve, so I misaligned the top layer by 1, and then did the algorithm to solve the corners. Then we had this edge in the back, and we have a W on the bottom. And the way I solve this is by putting the edge in this bottom left corner here and putting the opposite colors, so the sides that have the opposite colors, the opposite colored bars in the top right. And then I do this algorithm, which is essentially, it's one of the bad the good UU algorithms, and then you cancel. So normally it looks like this, but then you cancel into edge. So it'll look something like this. I'll show it again. So you have it like this. This is what I had. So you do bad UU and then cancel into edge, and then cancel the bar flip as well. All right, that was solve number 4. Let's look at solve number 5. Okay, so in this scramble, we had 3-1-2 pair. And during CSP, I traced odd, which for me, for this case, is good. So the way I solve it is by putting the pair on the right and then cutting through this pair on the bottom here so that you can have a 3-2-1-L. And then you can bring a shield up to make shield square, fist, fist, kite, kite, square, square. Okay, so then we're gonna put the blocks on the side, the bars on the side, like so, to solve CO. Now, I think there is actually an algorithm that can solve it like this. I think yeah, okay, you can do that. That's probably what I should have done, but yeah, I'm just not quite familiar enough with that algorithm yet. So what I opted for instead was to just have it lined up like this, like I did before, then do this algorithm. Now we have these two headlights to the left, so I put them in the back. I solve them in the back like so. And then we have edge, and what I really should have done is just do it from the back, right? But yeah, instead for some reason I decided to do it from the front, which it's not too bad, but yeah, just a slightly different algorithm, and solve like so. Okay, let's move on to solve number 6. Okay, here was the 6th scramble. We had fist square, and I traced odd during CSP, and for me, that's bad. So the way I differentiate how to solve it is if it's good, I'm going to solve scallop kite into the front, at least when fist is on top, but if it's bad, then I'm going to solve it into the back. So, yeah, what you do is you bring this L up to the pair to form pawn kite. Then you're going to move the top layer by 4 to form 411 L. And then if it was good, I would have moved both layers like this to solve into the front, but because it was bad, I didn't do that, and I solved it into the back. Okay, so scallop kite, fist, kite, kite. There we go. I put this bar on the right. Now we've had this same case a couple of times now, so yeah, I solve this slice, D prime, slice, bring it up. Now we already have this set up nicely to go straight into the algorithm. And then we have these headlights in the back and no headlights on the top, so I put these on the side to do this algorithm. Okay, now we have U, Z, so we're going to do edge from one side, and then move the bottom layer by 1 and do edge from the back. So do edge from the front. Now here, I think I actually got confused and I moved the top layer. So that was a mistake. I should have known to move the bottom layer right away because the bottom layer was the one that had the U on it. So do edge from the back. And yeah, that was solve 6. Okay, let's do solve number 7. Okay, so this was the scramble for solve number 7. We had scallop, and I traced odd, which was good for this case. Now, a quick side note, if this was even, this is pretty easy to solve because all you have to do is a slice. But I got odd, which is good, so I'm going to barrel, kite, square. Now we have this case again, so put the bar on the right, slice, D prime slice, solve like so. Now again, I should have done the algorithm where, like I showed before, where you put both on the left, but I'm not comfortable enough with that yet. So I put it on the right, did this algorithm, and then we had no headlights anywhere, NN, I believe it's called. So I aligned the blocks because I saw we had a block here and a block here, and I didn't want to break those, so I aligned the blocks and did the algorithm. So slice, move both layers, slice, and move them back. And then yeah, we're left with edge. So pretty easy, just solve from the back. And there you go. That was solve number 7. Okay, let's look at solve number 8. Okay, so here was solve number 8. Now, this was a very similar case to the first case we got, where we have pawn fist and they're both pointing in the same direction. Except this time it was even, which for me is bad. Now this is a pretty annoying case when it's even, actually, because what you have to do, or what I do at least, maybe there's a different way of solving it, but the way I prefer to do it is by forming 4-1-1-L, and then doing a 4 on the bottom, moving the bottom by 4, and then bringing the L back down. Now, in this case, it's kind of annoying because there's not a good way to do the 4. It's kind of awkward to do, so I kind of just did like a double tap like that. So bring the L back down, and then I think I did something with my index finger like that to bring the pawn back over here to solve pawn-pawn. Just kite, square. And then what I chose to do was to put these opposite from each other, put the odd one out, like the odd corner out, and slice, and then line it up so black can go on the top. Now we have LL, so I chose to put this in the top left, and this in the bottom right, and solve like so. And then we have these two headlights already lined up for us in the front, so solve like that. And then we have good UU, so really nice EP case. And yeah, that was that. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.